Do you remember a time before mobile phones? Please don't say no, you'll make me feel really old. The advances in technology over the past 20 years have made people more connected than ever. And there are many arguments for and against this. Our mobile phones are now more than a communication tool. There's a great deal of our personal information and life on them, as we use them for everything from social media to banking to booking holidays. Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from My Progression, and this video is all about the do's and don'ts of using mobile phones whilst in school. Our mobile phones have become so very important to us. I think I'd feel like I'd lost a limb if I didn't have mine. I can't check my social media, messages, emails, or Google that pointless information that I have to know. We can see how dependent we are on them, and we carry a world of information and access to other worlds around in our pockets or bags. We know that mobile phones definitely have benefited our lives in so many ways, but with this is a downside where we have an added responsibility to be aware of the misuse of mobile phones in schools and educational settings. So, are educators allowed to use their personal mobile phones? What are the do's and don'ts of mobile phone usage within the school setting? Today we're going to look at this and think about the issues that can surround a positive use and a negative use of the mobile. The DfE published guidance in February 2024 to help schools develop and implement policies to prohibit mobile phone use, along with other similar smart technologies, as part of a plan to minimise disruption and improve behaviour in the classroom. There's much discussion around pupils and mobile phones, but do we need to apply rules and regulations around staff usage of mobile phones in the workplace? Well, each school will have its own policy concerning mobile phones, including staff usage. So make sure you're fully aware of this policy for both pupils and yourself as a member of staff. When you walk into your workplace, you're working under the professional standards set out by the DfE. So in all that we do, we need to think about maintaining those standards. So here are some do's and don'ts of mobile phones. Okay, this one should be obvious. Don't use your personal mobile phone during lessons. Do switch off your phone or set to silent at all times. Quick checks and break times away from pupils are perfectly acceptable. Don't post personal pictures in school on social media during work hours. For more on the repercussions of this, see our video Online Safety, linked in the description below. And whilst you're there, like, subscribe and click on the bell to keep hearing more from My Progression. Do make sure your mobile phone is away if you're in areas where pupils require privacy. Mobile phones are not permitted to be used in certain designated areas within the school premises, such as changing rooms and toilets. Don't use your phone for school use. Staff members are not permitted to use their own mobile phones for contacting students or their families in a professional capacity, either on or off duty. And that's other than in an emergency. If you do need to contact parents, do use a school phone for this. Don't, under any circumstance, use recording equipment on your mobile phones, for example, to take audio recordings or videos of children. Legitimate recordings and photographs should be captured using school equipment, such as a school-owned camera or iPad. Don't use mobile phones in a space where children are present, like the playground or cafeteria. Do feel free to use your phone when no children are present, like in office areas, the staff room, or in an empty classroom when the children have left for the day. Can you use your own iPad in the classroom? No, the rules around personal iPads are the same as mobile phones, as they are almost a giant phone. Our focus has been on our own mobile phones, but we can be put in the situation where we have to perhaps confiscate a device from a pupil. If you do have to, do follow procedures, remove the device and place in a drawer. Don't ever look through a pupil's phone, look at photographs or read messages. This would be a breach of privacy and totally unacceptable. When taking a phone from a pupil, place its screen down, in a drawer, out of view. You can then not be accused of looking at the phone. Now, if an incident needs to be escalated and messages or photos accessed, a procedure will need to be followed and leadership intervention required immediately. We can see that all of these rules are put in place to support both staff and children to safeguard everyone. Using a mobile phone when your role is to teach does not set a professional and positive example to pupils and parents, and be assured it will be picked up that you're doing so. Misuse of mobile phones is likely to end up in disciplinary, dismissal, and in some cases legal action. It's disruptive, could interrupt lessons, and is an added distraction which would not allow you to give your whole attention to your pupils. A bit of a reminder on general phone etiquette. Think about the staff room use. If you're having a conversation with someone, they pick up their phone and start scrolling, you'd see that as rude. Also, if someone's using a phone during meetings and professional conversations, you wouldn't feel listened to or valued. So don't be that person. Using your phone throughout the school day is a misuse of the school's time and has the potential to impact adversely on the students' learning. We all know that our time can be taken up so easily by scrolling through our phones. I know I have lost many hours of my life to funny cat videos on YouTube. So when in school, we need to be focused on our work, not distracted by our personal life. We're there to do a job, so make sure we do it. So abiding by school policy will also show that you're a role model to pupils. Lead by example. If a pupil saw you checking your phone during a lesson when you've confiscated someone's in the past, they not only will likely call you out, but you'll lose so much credibility and respect. High standards with clear expectations along with leading by example will actively demonstrate the values set by school. Something you can do to reduce the distractions from your phone is turn on a focus mode. Focus is a feature that helps you reduce distractions and set boundaries. When you want to concentrate on a specific activity, you can customize one of the provided focus options. For example, on an iPhone, there's work, personal, or sleep. Or you can create a custom focus. You can use focus to temporarily silence all notifications or allow only specific notifications, like ones that apply to your task, for example, and let other people or your apps know that you're busy. When a focus is linked to your lock screen, you can turn it on by simply swiping the corresponding lock screen. I've got a smartwatch and I will get a buzz on my wrist when I get a notification. So there are settings you can turn on that to reduce the distractions, like cinema mode. Now there are times in our lives when we need to make or take a call. Always checking in with your line manager or senior leadership if there's that exceptional circumstance. That makes it essential before having your mobile phone in the classroom. One colleague told me she was waiting for a hospital phone call. She had a TA in the class with her, but it was essential that she take that call. The head teacher was aware, supported her taking the phone call. Now, informing the children that this is the case is recommended. I know I wouldn't normally have my phone on the desk or even on, but today I'm expecting a very important call. If my phone goes, I will answer it and leave the classroom, and Mr. Walters will continue to teach you. Thank you for understanding Year 6. And when we say life gets in the way, it's the same for pupils. Another teacher friend retold the story of a child whose mum was having twins. The child was brought to the school by dad and it was requested that they could have their mobile phone in class so they could hear the news firsthand. The request was granted by the head teacher, and in an afternoon lesson, the phone rang. The whole class was quiet as the child took the call. 2 little brothers. The whole class celebrated. It was an exciting day and so lovely to celebrate. So just beware. If you breach your school's staff mobile phone policy, you could be subject to disciplinary action. It's far too easy to be reliant upon our phones with the temptation there, literally at our fingertips. So be mindful and just don't do it. I'll end this video with a quote from the government guidance about mobile phone use. It sums up our discussion fully. We owe it to our children to do what we can to remove distractions and enable them to be fully present and engaged in the classroom. We also owe it to our pupils to keep them safe at school. We need to be fully invested in our pupils in all areas. I've been Natalie from My Progression, and let's keep your career in motion.